Over the past couple years, there's been a lot of concerned folks out there experiencing the current crazy world and getting interested in taking some personal responsibility for their own safety and the safety of their loved ones. Firearms have been flying off shelves, and that trend does not really seem to be slowing down significantly. I figured I'd talk a bit about what I think the first gun you should buy is if you're looking to get serious about defending your life and property. We're going to assume, for the sake of the video, that you are an American adult looking to purchase a firearm solely for self-defense, with either no firearms experience or minimal firearms experience, and that you live in a free enough state that allows you to purchase commonly used firearms with relatively minimal hassle. I believe the first firearm you should purchase is a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, one that is big enough that you can learn to shoot it to a high standard, but not so big that you can't carry it on your person. I like all sorts of firearms, and they all have their place, but here are some reasons I arrived at this conclusion. The first is just purely from a usage standpoint. The chances of you being the victim of a violent crime are greater outside your home than inside. This necessitates carry, and it's pretty difficult to pack a shotgun or carbine around on a day-to-day basis. A handgun is a tool of convenience, and this is where it really shines. With a good holster and belt, there are a lot of folks who are able to conceal a large-framed, duty-size handgun every day. Second is commonality, both in terms of ammo availability and training opportunities. 9mm is the most popular handgun caliber in the USA, and with advances in bullet technology, larger, heavier recoiling calibers like 40 Smith & Wesson and 45 ACP are becoming less relevant. Because 9mm pistols are so common, if you buy a handgun from one of the main manufacturers, spare parts, magazines, and accessories will be more available, which is a big advantage. Since most police departments, the US military, and the majority of American citizens are using 9mm handguns, most handgun instructors do as well. I find it beneficial to be using what is most common in a training situation, as I feel the instruction will be the most relevant. For example, it wouldn't make much sense to take a modern pistol class with a .44 Magnum revolver. Because 9mm is a fairly small caliber, you typically get much more capacity in a 9mm relative to similarly sized, larger caliber handguns. More bullets means less time manipulating the gun, which means more time in the fight. Recoil is also significantly reduced compared to the other common pistol calibers. And if the idea is getting shots on target, we want every advantage we can get here. It means faster follow-up shots too. In terms of a couple recommendations, I think the Glock 19 is the default, and for good reason. It's sort of the best of all worlds in terms of shootability, reliability, ease of concealment, ease of maintenance, and parts commonality. In that vein, you could scale up to a Glock 17, scale down to a Glock 26, and I would probably not go any smaller or lighter than a Glock 48 for a first firearm, if we're staying in that camp. The point is there, don't get something too small that you'll never want to shoot it. Small guns tend to be snappy and difficult to be effective with for new shooters. There are so many great striker-fired 9mm out there right now, but just get something reliable from a reputable manufacturer that you will be comfortable training and practicing with. Glock, Smith & Wesson, Beretta, H&K are all great places to start. My runner-up for the first gun you should buy, and I think this will be somewhat controversial, is the medium-frame .357 Magnum or .38 Special revolver, loaded exclusively with .38 Specials. I think this is more for the folks who don't anticipate doing much training or are not particularly enthusiastic about firearms in general, but want something around that they can call upon to defend life and property. Revolvers are pretty tolerant of neglect, meaning that you can usually leave one loaded in a sock drawer for years, and as long as it went into the drawer fairly clean, it's going to work just fine when you take it out. They are also very simple to handle administratively. Loading and unloading and verifying the condition of the gun is as easy as opening the cylinder. Shooting .38s out of a revolver of a decent size and weight, recoil will be minimal, and the guns will be straightforward and simple to shoot. For this application, I would recommend something like a Smith & Wesson K-frame, a Ruger GP100 or SP101, or the Colt King Cobra. Stay away from J-frames or LCRs if this is your first firearm. I'm curious to know what folks think here. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think the first firearm purchase a new shooter intent on defending themselves is. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.